Greetings once again, fellow book lovers. It's time for another edition of Shelf Life Book Reviews Online, where I present to you a book that I've read, reviewed, and recommend. And today's book is One of Us is Dead by Peter James. This is published by Macmillan. In Canada, it retails for $49.99. Now, I don't have a U.S. price because this is a United Kingdom edition. I would assume it's in the $30+ range in the United States. This is, well, depending on which website you go to, it's either book 20 or book 21 of the Detective Sergeant Roy Gray series. It doesn't matter what's in a number. The bottom line is all the books preceding this one have all been very popular. Roy Grace is a very popular character. In fact, in the United Kingdom, there's a TV show based on this character. Every time we read a Roy Grace book, we find some more interesting things about the man, about his life, about the way he solves crimes. But this book is most interesting because it starts with, at a funeral. And a man named by the name of James Taylor, no relation to this musician, is at a funeral. He comes in late and he looks toward the front of the church and he sees a man who he thinks is Rufus Rourke. Now, the only problem is Rufus Rourke died 2 years ago. In fact, James Taylor was the man who presented the eulogy for him at the church. The man's body went overboard. His body was never found. His jacket was found, is covered in blood, and there were bites as if a shark had taken bites out of the jacket. So he was presumed dead. He hadn't been seen, of course. And so when James Taylor looks again at the front of the church, he doesn't see the man he thought was Rufus Rourke. Now, in the meantime, Roy Grace is investigating some interesting accidents, if you want to call them. People have died from, poison mushrooms that they thought they were edible mushrooms, but they weren't. And also someone died by a wasp sting. Now, they all look like normal everyday accidents that can happen. As well, there's a car, a man and a woman in a car, and it's a really flashy, expensive car. And the car crashes and both people die. In fact, the man loses his head, literally. So Roy Grace is looking into these because he thinks there is something very suspicious about the deaths because they're quite plentiful. Now, as we find out, somehow the deaths may be associated with Rufus Rourke, who supposedly died 2 years ago. So it's quite a puzzle. Now, I don't think that I mentioned as well, too, that this book is about 450 pages long. So there's a lot of things going on in the book. On every page, there's almost something happening as we find out about Rufus Rourke, who he was, what he represents, and if he could still be alive, why is he responsible, possibly, for this string of unusual deaths. But Roy Grace is never one to back away from a challenge. And the deeper he goes into it, we find out that James Taylor, his life is in danger because Rufus Rourke thinks or realizes that he knows he's alive. So really, in a Roy Grace book, most of them are quite long. And the fact that it's long does not mean that it is boring, because the author, Peter James, always manages to pack a lot onto every page. And you will never get bored in a Peter James book because this man knows how to write. And like I said, whether this is book 20 or 21 of the series doesn't matter. The fact is, it is as good as all the others in the series. So if you're looking for a British detective, because it's much different crime solving than what you get usually with your American detectives, it's still a very compelling book, a book that you will be pleased reading and will enjoy from first page to last. So if you do purchase it, please let me know if you do agree with my review. One of Us is Dead. So thank you for watching. I'll be back again with another excellent book. Until then, stay safe, stay sane, stay in touch, and I will see you at the bookstore. Bye for now.